This video is specifically made for those of you who were absent the Friday before spring break, or those of you who were there and you had some errors in your program. This will help you kind of catch up to what we did and get it turned in so you can get credit for it. So today we are building a program in CMU in the sandbox. So if you open your CMU through Clever and go to your sandbox, I'm going to quickly click this link so you can get an idea of what the actual program looks like. So what it is we're going to be making a star, and we're going to be able to change the star based on user inputs. So we're going to gather some information about the star. How many points would you like the star to have? So we give them the option. Let's say we're going to have a 4-pointed star. Now we'll collect information about the color. The next thing it does, it says it wants to ask you for red, green, and blue values. And remember, we can only go to 255. So for red, we'll click 255. For green, let's click 145, and for blue, let's click 200. And then it says how big would you like your star to be, so we're going to pick the radius. So I'm going to say 150, and now it's going to build the star to our liking. So you can see it's a 4-pointed star that is pink, and it has a radius of 150. So we're going to be building that program today. So we'll go up to Sandbox, and we get a new workspace. First thing we're going to do is we're going to call it making a star. The first thing we want to do is we actually want to make a star. So I'm going to say we're going to make a star. If you remember, we have star, and then we need 4 numbers. So this star we're going to put at 200, 200 right in the middle. We're going to give it a radius of 150 and then 5 points. We're going to run it, and there we go. So that's our default star. Now what we're going to do is build a program that can change these numbers to what the person wants. So I'm going to leave that star there, and I'm going to go ahead and bring it down a couple of lines. Now the first thing we want to do is we want to give the option of how many points the star can have. So I'm going to show you this one, and after I'm done with this one, you're going to be able to do color and size by yourself. That's the goal. So I'll show you how to do points. So I'm going to go ahead and ask for number of points. So that's for number of points. I'm going to need a user input. So I'm going to go back to my Python notebook, and I have it right here on slide 9. It shows us how do we get input statements. And it says the first thing we have to do is we have to create a variable name, and then we have to type app.getTextInput. Then in parentheses we write a question. So I'm going to start with a variable name. This one I'm going to call points because I think that will help me later to remember what is what. And I'm going to say app.getTextInput. Then I write parentheses and a question. How many points would you like your star to have? And I'm going to give them a limit. Must be above 2. Okay, because if you have a 2-pointed star, it will get an error. So I have points equal app.getTextInput. How many points would you like your star to have? So we're going to run it just to make sure it works. It says, how many would you like your star to have? This one I'm going to put 3. Okay. And now you see we still have the same star. So it's taking the input, but it's not putting it in the star program. So down here we need to find the points. Right here, see that 5? And instead of a 5, we're going to replace it with the word points, the variable. So now when I run it, if I say, how many points would you like your star to have? You say 3, you press OK, and now we get an error. That is perfectly fine. The error is needed for us to figure out how to solve the problem. It says the star points should be an integer, but 3 is a string. So the problem is, with this setup, what we're doing is we're taking name and we're creating a string. The computer doesn't realize that what we actually want is a number. It's a very easy fix. So after the equal sign, before the app, we're going to write int, and then we're going to put all of that information in parentheses. So now it says points is an integer, app.getTextInput. How many points would you like to have? Now when we run it, we say 3, press OK, and it gets a 3-pointed star. So now that you have the basic idea of how to do this, where you ask a question, you gather information, and you place it in the code, here are the other things we need for you to do. We need to just use the same idea to ask for the size. So you'll create a variable, collect an integer text input, and then down here you will change this third number to whatever the variable is. And finally, you'll need to create 3 variables to ask for color. And that'll be red value, green value, and blue value. Remember, they can only go from 0 to 255. All right, so in the end, you'll have a program that will ask for number of points, the size, and a red, green, and blue value, so that you can come down here and write a fill with an RGB, so you can make a multicolored, multi-pointed, large or small star. And then when you're finished, the first thing you want to do is you want to press save as and give it a name. Then you want to come over here where you have the 3 dots and you want to press share canvas link, this purple button where it says share copy link and close. You're going to copy link and close, and then you'll come into Canvas. And what you're looking for is the Python class star program. If it's no longer on the agenda, check the past agenda for Friday, March 21st. You'll see it here. And then at the bottom of the assignment, just paste it and press submit. And that's it.